There's dysfunction inside the vice president's office, aides and administration officials say, and it's emanating from the top because whenever Kamala Harris is running an office, it always has dissension and dysfunction and low morale. So in interviews, 22 current and former vice presidential aides, administration officials, and associates of Harris and Biden describe a tense and at times dour office atmosphere. Right? That does not sound filled with joy. Much of the ire is aimed at Kamala Harris's chief. Two administration officials said the vice president bears responsibility for the way the office is run. It all starts at the top. People are thrown under the bus from the top. There are short fuses. It's an abusive environment. It's not a healthy environment. People feel mistreated. It's not a place where people feel supported, but a place where people feel like they're treated badly. For some of the people who know Harris best, it's become an all too familiar pattern for a politician who has churned through several iterations of staff on her rise, and she took office with a team almost entirely new to her because she can't seem to sustain people working for her. So when I was out looking for a job, essentially in the interviewing process, what the typical question from potential employers is, oh, do you have any questions for us? And I'd want to know how long people worked at a particular place, right? If a particular work site wasn't able to keep employees, that's a big warning sign. So the Kamala Harris staff situation was basically the same as the staff situation on the Armando Iannucci sitcom Veep with Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Selena Meyer, an in-over-ahead vice president, except that Selena, unlike Kamala, managed to keep her funniest staffers around season after season. Back to the Politico article. Harris's struggles are nothing new. People who've worked for her in the past describe days as managed chaos. The boss's expectations won't always be predictable. So from my time as an employee, when I worked for someone who was organized, things generally worked in an organized fashion, and I was able to operate in an organized fashion. When I worked for a boss who was chaotic, there was absolutely nothing I could do to effectively manage or tame the chaos emanating from the boss. So the way an office works is largely a reflection of the habits and practices and personality of the person in charge. Kamala Harris's presidential campaign imploded in a painful maze of finger pointing, and leaks. Kamala Harris jettisoned nearly everyone from that campaign and returned to the Senate in 2020 with her government staff in a small outside political operation in tow. When she was put on the presidential ticket, she was given a staff of mostly handpicked, trusted aides from Biden world, and it did the job. Right? That team during the 2020 election avoided her typical spiral of internal backbiting.